Hey, my little mangoes, what's going on? I have noises in the background, damn it. It's fine, I don't really care right now. I have a lot to say. I don't deserve to say anything particular. I said I was going to start making videos again, and I was really head on to it. I was like, yeah, let's do it. But then I started writing, and I started really hating what I was writing. In the basic sense of everything, I kind of scrapped a lot of the stuff I had. I only had one idea, and I really want to roll with it, but with a certain part of the fanfic, I couldn't work with it, so I had to scrap the whole idea. Cause I plan to go live explaining why I plan to quit the series, but I'll like do an episode where it was like all what was going to happen, all what was going to like be, but why the reason of why I had to like quit and everything, why I had to like not quit YouTube. I'm still gonna probably post some stuff. I have a bunch of gaming videos that are ready, just need to be edited, and then I can post them. But I'm probably gonna quit this specific fanfic. It's not like anyone's fault per se. It was just I was writing and I was trying to finish the series, but it didn't come across the way I wanted to write it. I might remake it. I might rewrite the whole thing and start all over again from the first part, because I changed a lot of things about the story. Things like that happen when you take a long pause from a story. When you take a long pause from a story, you look back and you're like, this could be different and this could be different, and you rewatch a lot of your old stuff. You change a lot of things about the story. That's what I did. I changed so many things though that I can't finish the end of this one because I just can't finish the story anymore. I apologize, my little mangoes. I know I said that I could keep this story going on for a long time, but in order to do that, I would have to restart the whole show. I don't plan on doing a restart of the whole show just as an audio. I might make it into like a podcast or something, like tune in once a day or something, then I'll make like an hour-long thing. I might do that, but I might do it in another sense. Like, I don't think I'll be making ASMR videos, if you can even call this ASMR, like this anymore. I'll probably, because I want to tap into other things. I want to start drawing more. I've been practicing animation recently. Like, if I do make a series, it's going to be something probably a lot different than what you're used to. I apologize a lot. There was a lot of art that was made for this series for like a lot of small things, and I'll be showing that probably in like the live stream, or well, I probably won't show it in the live stream. I'll probably show it after the live stream and maybe like a community post. But I did have this episode, I did have episode 42 ready. I had maybe about 40 minutes worth of an episode ready, but it just wasn't gonna lead into anything. I had a thing for Uraraka and Wayan's story. I had a thing for like old characters coming back. I had a thing for a lot of like plot holes that would be entered and placed in specific areas. Like, I had a whole thing ready, but the past changed a lot as I was writing it, that I just couldn't continue on with the series. It wasn't just the past, though. It was something that I had changed in the writing, during a live stream. there was a live stream with you guys where you were asking when do they actually get together in the writing, and I told a lie. I knew that it's an ex-listener and it has to have a love story in there. And the problem with that is Wyan's character was written to be like a form of demisexual and aromantic. Like her character is, she doesn't really see these things. She doesn't realize these things about romantic stuff. She doesn't really care about romantic stuff. She's mostly just like, she wants to be supportive towards everyone, doesn't really see romantic as like a thing. And like, sure, she's had romantic stuff with another person, but it wasn't the best relationship ever. Like, she doesn't really understand how it goes or how it works. Like, the whole thing about her story is like, she was supposed to be like a type of pansexual / aromantic / like demisexual kind of character that just didn't really get it, but was all there for the person. Like, she wasn't supposed to be into Katsuki until very far out into the story. Originally, I had wrote the story before the comic series started bringing in all this other stuff with Katsuki getting hit or whatever, and all the recovery, and then Izuku leaving and everything. But it tied in very well to what I had originally wrote about Kei. If anyone remembers who Kei is, Kei was her first ex, the person who she met back in her earliest years of school in the special kids class. He was this character that obsessed over the idea that everyone treated them different, so they should rule over them. Like, he was this character that just hated everyone for what they did. And him and Wyan were really close because, well, Wyan was very easy to feel his quirk. She was basically like this fuel, but was also a good friend in the mix. You know, considering Wyan and Izuku are twins, they're both cancers, so they're both like sweet and it's like sentimental and everything. And Kei knew this, and it wasn't like he was taking advantage per se, but more just saw an opportunity, and it ended up becoming one of the greatest choices he chose. And it was going to tie in to everything in the upcoming series. It was going to tie into all of what we were going to see in the future, and we were going to see Kei come back. We were going to see him like talk about things that happened in their past, which I had not shown yet. I had all these things of Kei coming back, all this trauma, and I originally, in the story that was written before we learned that Izuku was going to go like rogue, I originally had it where Izuku got rogue, but not from the school, but towards his sister, where he just stopped talking to her. He stopped listening to her. He did not want to be near his sister because he felt like she betrayed him. And I had all these story and like all this like movement, and all in between it, Katsuki's character development in the storyline was going to shift. Big changes, big shift, but it wasn't going to be like erasing the character. It was going to be him learning that the people he grew up with are not who he sees now. He sees like it's so different, and he has to work with all this like new stuff and learning to be a partner rather than to be an enemy or a rival. It was a whole thing that he was going to start learning what it was like to see another person as an ally rather than as a person that had common interests that he could rely on for 2 seconds. It was like long-term type of trust that Katsuki was learning. And he was going to learn this throughout the process, and that was what was going to make him see Wyan as the best way to learn it, because Wyan, after Izuku starts becoming cold, after Kei comes back and starts ruining their lives, Katsuki was the only one to be left in the mix with YN, which is where I had originally started the love story. That was the point in time where they finally started to get closer. And it was soft, it was subtle, it was sweet in the written version, but I got scared. I knew that if I didn't bring the characters together soon, I was going to start losing people because people really wanted to see them finally, after so many episodes, get together. And I realized that making people wait for 30-something episodes wasn't gonna work, and that I had to change the story, because the story itself was changing, because there was more stuff coming into the things, and I had to change certain lines, certain stories, certain, phrases, because of how it was shifting, and it kind of worked for a lot of what it was doing, and I was able to write it in, a really good way, but, unfortunately, I got scared that I would lose you guys over not bringing them together quicker. And by episode, I think it was 35 or 36 or something like that, and I brought them together way too early. YN is a confused mess in these storylines right now. She is all over the place, terrified because she doesn't even know why she accepted, and then Katsuki is trying to develop the way I wrote him to, but is struggling because he was not expecting to tell himself that early to YN, and it just turned into a gigantic mess between the two. YN doesn't know what to do anymore, and doesn't know what's right, what's from what's left, is so confused and conflicted on relationships, and it's eating at her in the inside at this point in this new version of this story that I'm forcing myself to write, and I don't like how it turned out. It's not your guys' fault, obviously. It was mine. I got scared that you guys would leave if I told you that they weren't going to get together until maybe the 50th or the 60th episode, that they weren't going to get together until season 6 because they weren't supposed to even feel romantic until a season finale kind of thing. They weren't supposed to feel romantic or get together until after or during the events with Kei coming back, which would probably be towards season 6 or something along those lines, and maybe even more, it probably would be maybe season 7 when they finally got together, of Boku no Hero, and it would have taken forever for them to actually get together in the original written version of the story, which is so much more connected with the characters. And in this new version that I was forcing to come out, you probably could hear the different type of tone after episode 35 of how I just didn't feel like this was the right move in the story, where I forced them to get together sooner, because it just didn't work with the characters. It made no sense why they got together in the first place. None of them had any remote thought process of this. It made no sense. So unfortunately, in this story, I could not allow it to continue the way it was going, because it made no sense for the characters. It was a jumbled mess that really damaged and dented these characters that I love and I made, and I spent 3 years writing. To rush a series that I cared so much about, I just couldn't continue it the way it was going. If you guys want me to try and remake the story, and remake from episode 35 to where it would have been now, what the original story would have been, then I would want to, but I would try to find a different way to be able to convey the story. But as for now, this current story of how it's going is gonna probably have to come to an end, because their connection, their love their story that they build off of together is so more complex in the original that I just can't speed it up any farther than I originally had written for the story. I don't mean to sound like I'm getting emotional. I don't want that like to be conveyed that I'm crying right now, but I'm not. I'm just really, really sorry that I let my fear get the best of me, and I let you guys down, that I let you guys down for this. I really should have, I really shouldn't have allowed you guys to have to deal with it. I should have been, like, better and saying, oh, well, it's going to happen, in a much later time, but, because the way I wrote it was so much better than what I was giving you guys, and I can't continue to give that story anymore. I might rewrite it, I might retell it, I might start all over again from the first episode, but I don't know if I will. I have other stories that I've written, I have other stories that I think came out pretty well, that are a lot smaller stories, so they're not as complex, but they're also ones that I'm sure that could actually come out without me having to worry about, oh, this will take too long for this to happen. And there's always those, but as of right now, I don't think I will be continuing the Izuku's sister ex Katsuki fanfiction anymore. Again, I'll have a live stream explaining more on it, and then I'll release the art that never got to be shown onto it. There was at least 4 pictures that never got to be released onto actual video of ideas that I had. I'll show them probably after the live stream. I'll probably do the live stream sometime near my birthday, which is the 30th of this month, because I won't be in class. I've been taking summer school, so I won't be in class for those. I'm sorry, again, about all this inconvenience. I apologize for making you guys wait this long for any kind of update. I just didn't know how I would tell you guys. I didn't know how to style this video, and I don't even know if I'm gonna show episode 42, because even that, the way it's written, the way it's told, it's not good. It's not good at all. It's focusing on an Uraraka plot that I had, but it's not good. It's really rushed. It's not really well written and anything. But until then, until I get those videos out, and if I get those videos out, until I get the stream out, is what I meant to say, sorry. Until I get that stream out explaining more detail, I'll leave it at this. I, again, apologize that I won't be able to fulfill what everyone was hoping for, like a full-on series and everything. But, I tried writing this new version, but it just got so messy that I just couldn't continue it. I tried writing it, but I couldn't continue this series. I do plan on, though, on changing from the part series to maybe like a podcast series, and then adding, I have games ready. I have a bunch of games that I played. I played like 3 games so far, and I was getting downloading more to go and play more games because I did have a lot of fun playing Anne, and I want to finish playing Anne, but I have to schedule time with my other friends who want to do the games together, but they've been kind of busy. So other than that, guys, I guess I'll sign off since this is already 20 minutes. I guess I'll sign off. And I'll tell you guys more in a later date. But, I'll explain more. I'll answer any questions you guys have, either in this comments below or in the live stream. I hope I don't offend any of you guys. Again, it's not your fault. It is 100% mine for trying to rush and trying to make everything work for time, and saving time just ruins things, and I've learned that now. Thank you guys for sticking with the series for as long as you have. Thank you guys for watching and liking and making stuff for and thoroughly enjoying the series as much as I did when I first was making it. And I'm sorry for letting you guys down and not allowing you guys to see the rest of the story in the way it was meant to be written. I hope one day I can actually show you the story in the ways it was meant to be shown. Maybe with not Boku no Hero fanfic, but with an actual new characters, a whole blown out actual storyline that you guys can follow. That's maybe based off of it, but not like fully. That would be a lot of fun. I have other stories in Boku no Hero fanfiction that's not like an ex-listener, but it's like characters I've made that are hanging out with the main cast, becoming their friends, and those stories are a lot more fun and they're a lot more sweet, and I've been actually writing those rather than I've been writing the main fanfic, because it's been more stressful to write the main fanfic than it has to be writing the corny side ones that I made. I have this one where it was called Katsuki's Gay BFF. It was a Pride Month spectacular one where this this British kid moved to Japan and was they moved to Japan during the time where Izuku was getting bullied in their like junior high, and they stood up for Izuku, but they ended up making corny jokes at Katsuki. Katsuki was like saw that they had like a pride pin on their like person and like was like, the hell? Because like in the show you don't see a lot of people like flaunting it out, or anyone in particular that actually was like that. I'm pretty sure there was at least one in their entire junior high, because you know statistics say like there's at least one in every 10 people, but no one like flaunts it out excessively. And so when he saw that, I had like a whole storyline where he was just like, I need to talk to you. It's a Bakugo X Izuku fanfic in full honesty, but that again doesn't happen until they get to like 3 years into high school. And it was a fun story where his best friend from junior high that actually stuck with them, who went into the support course and knew Katsuki to a T. Their power was they could make illusions out of like, it wasn't like Callie's version of illusion. It was more along the lines of like, instead of mist, it was around the line of my power of like blowing bubbles, but they had like this like line between their fingers that kind of like if they press it together and then like made a circle, they could make like a bubble. They could make like that, like the bubble one kind of thing out of their hands, and they would blow bubble illusions, and that could help them do like, they could use those illusions to help them have ideas of like, okay, so this is what it's gonna look like, this is what my vision says, and then they could start like writing stuff down, and they would make support gear for Katsuki, and they were best friends, and they had a dormitory, and Katsuki would just blast through their dormitory every like 5 minutes of the day, just like, I have a problem, and I was like, oh god. I had a lot of fun writing that one. There was another one where these two people went into their junior high, and one had like dragon-like powers, and the other one had like elemental powers, and they just kind of like I had a lot of stories for Boku no Hero, a lot of different fan fictions, a lot of different like main character OC characters that had a bunch of like cool powers. And all of these characters were meant to be like best friends with Katsuki, best friends with Izuku. I had a Kiri best friend. I had Shinso best friends that were ready. I had so many characters that were specialized to be best friends with one of every character. And my favorite one had to be this one that was best friends with Zero. Because they were this Hispanic transfer student who was the best tamale cook I had ever seen. They were the funniest character because I'm originally from a place where there's a lot of Hispanic culture, and so a lot of their humor is stuff that I hear every day. And so like it was the funniest character to write because of all the Hispanic culture I got to bring into it, and all the jokes that I had written for that specific story made me want to laugh until I cried. I had all these Boku no Hero side stories written fully well, one-shots, a lot of one-shots, and then like so many main series that I miss, that I would love to show you guys, but I got so mentally obsessed with this one. Like I said, guys, I'll get out of your hair. I said that 6 minutes ago, but I'll get out of your hair, guys, but just know that this isn't the end of the channel. This is just me telling you that your favorite part of this channel might be going, but there's still a lot of potential that could come to this show. There's still a lot of stories that you guys could hear. If you want, comment down below. I would love to bring out the Katsuki best friend one. I would love to do a live stream one-shot with Zero and his homie. I would love to bring out these characters. I also plan on doing a pride telling of telling what my character sexualities were, what everyone had, and who everyone was, and who I am and stuff like that. But again, like I have all of these stories that are ready and that are good. I'm just scared of approval. So I'll see you guys in the comment section. I will be there in the comment section till the live stream that happens eventually towards probably the end of this month. I'll probably make another coming out video for a bunch of the characters that I did and for myself as well. And after that we'll see what happens from there. I thank you guys. Thank you a lot. Thank you so much for all of your understandings and everything. Thank you for staying with the series for as long as you have. Really, thank you. It's amazing how much you guys care about the series. Thank you. We wouldn't be making this series today if it weren't for you guys, but I guess I'll close it off now because I have been rambling for a very long time. So, see you guys next time. Stay safe, stay clean, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, my little mangoes. I'm sorry again.